Good morning, my friends. It's another wonderful day in the Philippines. It is overcast and the sun's not out, so I decided to wear a different type hat today. People are always asking why I wear the other hat. It's usually because it covers my ears. This is the largest hat I can find. You can see it pretty well sits on the top of my head, doesn't want to go down any further. Whenever I try to wear smaller hats, it always gives me headaches from being too tight. Anyway, in this video, I'm going to show you how to get money from the US here with the ATM, with Remitly or Wise. Also, how to get your phone set up so that you can use it once you get to the Philippines, and how to renew your visa, your tourist visa. Anyway, so stay tuned. Check it out. As many of you know, I read every comment that comes in. One of the top questions this time was, how do I get money to the Philippines? Should I open up a Philippine bank account? That type of thing. So like when I get my retirement check, how do I get money here? So that's going to be the first thing I address in this video. Just on a side note, the video that you're watching was my walk about eighth to a quarter of a mile from my old house to the highway where I would catch a jeepney into town. Here we are in a jeepney looking out the back door, and here we are in town. So now imagine that we're going to get money using your American ATM card. And there's China Bank. I'm kind of doing a little bit of a scan because I know that I have done some other videos up and down the same street. So here is the up close of the ATM. It works just exactly like any ATM. In this segment here, you're going to, the little blue letters popping up is a Western Union right there. There's 7 different places that you can see in this video. You just can't read, the signs are too small at the other end, where you can pick up money when you send it to yourself via Remitly, etc. At the far end, way in the back, you see this little tall sign sticking up. That's ML Euler. Next to that is the China Bank where the ATM was. Yes, there are 2 Western Unions. That's not a mistake. Now, Remitly, service that I use, it has my ATM number in there, so I send money to myself. So you're the sender and the receiver both, like you would send money to someone using Western Union, and then you pick it up yourself. I'm talking about Remitly because that's who I have an account with, although I've heard that Wise is actually better. So that being said, now you know that Port Rock is a relatively small town, maybe 7,000 people, and here you have all of these various places you could pick up that money when you send it to yourself, even in a small town. The point here is that there's multiple ways to get money to yourself, either ATM, Remitly, or Wise, so let not your heart be troubled. The next topic here is to get your phone working. I particularly go to SM Clark, and there's a lady there that always helps me out. I recommend when you first get started here, if you find an SM mall, they have what's called a cyber zone in each one of them. That's where you would find anything electronics from phones to computers. So you'll need a Philippine SIM card for your phone. Bring your passport because they need to register them. And you'll also need what's called load, if you're not familiar with that. One kind is for talk and text. You'll need that for texting and watching videos, that kind of thing. And the other one is for talking on landlines. Not the same kind of load you would use for any other kind of calls. Only if you're calling a landline would you need that type of load. Now there's several different companies. There's Smart, which is what I use, and there's Globe and a few others. I use Smart because it's less expensive. I've got an unlimited amount for 900 pesos, and that lasts 6 months. Then for landlines, if I need to call a hotel or something else like that in the Philippines, I will buy that separately, and that was 7.5 pesos per minute. So your cost would be, think in the terms of $10 for your SIM card, for your first month of load, talk and text, and then also you would have some left over for landline minutes. Now usually the conversation goes, you'll say, I need load, they'll say, what kind? Just simply tell them that you watch YouTube, Facebook, and you want talk and text. Also, if you want landline or international calling. So I went in and I got a promo from Smart, and for 900 pesos, I got 6 months unlimited talk and text. Then I bought minutes on top of that for the landline. So for my talk and text, it actually cost me less than $265 a month when I buy 6 months worth at Smart. Now, I don't even know anybody in the Philippines that has a landline. Everybody has a cell phone. So landline minutes, I don't use hardly ever. So I just kind of buy them when I know that I'm going to need them or I have a certain amount on hand. Now in America, when we get a phone, we pay one price. We just get everything. Now, if you didn't notice, I told you I get my talk and my text, which is Facebook and all that stuff, for $2.65 a month. I mean, that's $2.65 a month. Anyway, the point being is that you also would need to buy minutes for international calls if that's what you chose to do. So don't pull your hair out. Just understand that it's a lot less money if you're only having to buy certain services as opposed to all services lumped in. And that's why it's that way in the Philippines. So people of all income levels can buy load as they need it, paying for services they wouldn't be using, and that works well for us too, once we get past the confusion. Now, this video is not meant to be a complete tutorial, but it is meant to get you up and running when you hit the ground here. So next, let's move along, and next video is about how to renew your tourist visa. So if you're in Angeles City or Pampanga, Porac, etc., you're going to go to the immigration office at the Marquee Mall. Now, when mine comes up for renewal, I'm usually there 10 days to 2 weeks ahead of time, just at my convenience. I think I went once like 30 days ahead of time to renew it, which was fine because I was going to be traveling and I didn't know exactly where I was going to be when it needed to be renewed. Plus, I didn't want to wake up realizing I'd had a senior moment and I was a few days late. Now, I went down there. I know there's services that handle this for you, but I wanted to see how difficult it was. So I went down to the immigration office. They gave me the paperwork to fill out. Now, it's a pretty simple form, kind of like getting a credit card with a few extra questions like, when's the last time you entered the Philippines and what's your passport number? Those are the two toughest questions. Now, when he hands you the paperwork, he'll also give you a number. So once you fill that out, you sit and you wait for your number to be called. Now, I'm going to say 50% of the time, you'll be being called up before you're done with a simple form. And I mean simple. And here's the form. You could probably blow it up and read it line by line. Now, pretty soon, we're supposed to be able to renew it online, but I still think the first couple of visits, you're going to have to go in for your first visit, and you're going to have to go in for your ACR card. So my first time, it was about 2,800 pesos, and I probably could have saved 1,000, except that it was an expedite fee. Okay, here you can see we have walked into the Marquee Mall, and we're walking down into where the supermarket is. Once we get inside, we're going to take a right turn and go down to the immigration office. The second time you go is probably going to be about 8,000 because you'll need, after you're here that long, you'll need to get an ACR card, and that's the expense. Probably maybe 5 or 6,000 pesos the actual card itself. Now, if you prefer to use a service to help you with your visa extension, there's an office right there next to the immigration office. Included in the approximately 2,800 pesos to renew, there's an expedite fee in there included because it only takes 2 hours when you go into the office and handle it there. I've never really cared. I've just never wanted to leave my passport with anybody for any length of time, and to me it's just peace of mind to spend the money, get in and get it done in a couple hours. So once your number's called, you walk up, hand them your passport and the paperwork you filled out, and come back in about 2 hours. In 2 hours, come up, go back to the window, they have a little receipt they gave you, just hand that to them, and they will hand you your passport back with your visa extension. Well, there you have it, my friends. How to renew your passport, get your telephone working, and how to get money to yourself when you're in the Philippines from America. If you found this helpful, please like and subscribe, and ring the notification bell for future videos. That will trigger the algorithms at YouTube to push this out to a wider audience. I always encourage comments and questions, so if you do, I promise to get back to you.